What's up? What's up? Welcome to my first episode of the podcast, Keep It Sharp with Fareed Rashad. Today I got a special guest, Drew da Barber, Tampa, Florida. What's up, Drew?
Oh, man. You can't call it.
That's what's up. You like my cheesy pause. All right. What I want to talk about, and the name of this segment is going to be called the Tampa Takeover. So, for the guys that's watching, tell people who you are, Drew. You don't need any introduction. First, let me just say this: educator, multi-national barber champion, Mad Awards, exotics. I mean, what is it that you don't do? Shop owner. How many locations you got?
So this will be the second one here.
All right, Drew. Tell the people who you are.
Man, first and foremost, man, just grateful to be here, but just a barber, man, you know, like everybody else. Started off pretty much the same way as everybody else in the game, you know. Just had a dream, just wanted to cut hair and fell in love with it at an early age. Right out of high school, my boy got me into it. Started cutting people out the garage and somehow ended up here. So grateful, you know what I mean? The journey's been real because I never expected, I tell people all the time, I never expected to get this far in the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I remember, 10, 15 years ago looking online and seeing the Pacinos and all these guys coming up and thinking like, wow, you know what I mean? These guys are like, this is really something. But to be in the same class with those guys, to even, to associate with those guys, be in the same circle, it's a blessing. I never expected, that to happen. All I wanted to do, the main goal for me was to keep my shop doors open. That was it. I started my first shop, somewhere around 7 years ago. And, the main thing for me was we went for broke. Me and my wife went for broke. So there was no extra money. There was no, hey, get ready. After we open for the first day, we're going out to dinner tonight. You know what I mean? We didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
So the idea of starting, the Instagram page and all this and that, even though I had already been following all of these guys and really looking up to these guys that were really doing it, that opened the doors for us, my main purpose was I couldn't afford to market myself. You know what I mean? So really, my main focus, people always told me back then, man, you're going so hard. Every time I'd show up, you're going so hard. It's just to keep my doors open, to try to generate some flow. I already had, good clientele. I'd been cutting hair for a while, but I wanted to generate overflow for people that were working for me, try to offer them something so that we could get the ball rolling. Somehow I ended up here. Wow. So I feel really blessed.
Yeah. I've been knowing you for a couple years. I moved to Tampa around 2016, and I've met you at a show a couple years ago, and you had won that show. Then you won another show, and you would travel. So you was committed. You was what Champions was made of. But let me ask you a question. Since pandemic has pretty much took over 2020, how has it affected not only the barber game, but how did it affect your business?
Oh man, the effects of what we're going through right now as a community, I would have never thought this could happen. You know what I mean? And I reached out to Curtis and Jesse, Boom, all those guys, my teammates, to kind of see, what's going on, how you guys feeling about this? Because I know it hurt me bad. Being in a major mall in a major city, we were shut down a month earlier than everybody else. Right. So we did almost like a full 75 days, no job. That was hard on the mind. Yeah. You know what I mean? The when you get to a certain level of being an owner, you have a certain responsibility. And that responsibility just isn't your chair anymore. Right. It's everybody else. So the hardest thing for me was watching my team suffer. You know what I mean? Watching my team go through that was hard for me. Right. But also being a leader in the industry, reaching out to my peers, reaching out to barbershops around me, those guys going through it too. Right. We're going through it together. Right. But I would say it took away about 50% of our walk-in business, which is kind of rough.
Wow.
So to say that we're not struggling at all, that's not it. But we're fighting every day. You know what I mean? We're opening the shop every day, staying late, doing what we have to do, putting in the work. That's the only way we're going to get through this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's really just to, bind together and just remember what the goal is. And the goal is to service people and, just try to get through the day.
Right. What do you think 2021 is going to happen? Because, I mean, we hearing we got spikes of the COVID that's
right.
spiking in different parts of the country, and they're talking about certain cities shutting down again.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about that?
Man, it's hard, On one hand, I feel fortunate to be in Florida. The likelihood of us shutting down is slim to none.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the position we're in, no matter what stance you're taking on it. That's just where we're at, where we know we're at in Florida. A lot of our peers, though, a lot of our barbershop owners around the country, they're shut down right now. A lot of our team members on JRL, they're shut down right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely, like, I think about those guys daily, man, and I can't imagine what they're going through to be shut down for a second time. As far as COVID goes, I really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if you would have told me 10 years ago our economy would have been shut down, the barber game would have been shut down. We went through a recession, and I remember people hurting so bad during that recession, and me looking to the guys I was working with and going, wow, like I wasn't even an owner back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, like we really making money right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I could have thought, if this didn't shut us down, nothing would shut us down. 2020 taught us all a lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 2020, I feel like for as bad a year as it's been a year of awakening for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This was a time to get your affairs in order. You know what I mean? Really figure out what's important, prioritize, and really mend those relationships with a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes life passes us by so quick. So I think I've heard a lot of people in the chair. This year it's been a really horrible year, but it's also been a year for a lot of people that just woke you up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of guys who of course didn't foresee this coming.
Right.
And they're hurting. Some shops had to close. Some guys merged, shops together.
Right.
Other guys, stopped cutting and started taking on other jobs.
Right.
But I think 2021 is going to be, a breakthrough year for not only the barber game but for other professions.
I'm hoping. There's no secret. We got a big clipper out right now.
Okay.
2 big clippers. You know what I mean? We got a clipper and a trimmer out. So what we've been through to develop that, over the past couple of years, and not
now,
to
when you say clipper, who are you talking about?
JRL USA.
That's right.
That's my
JRL.
squad.
All right, let's talk about JRL.
Man.
How did you come to be a part of that whole phenomenon of JRL?
Right. So a lot of people who've been following me for a long time know that once upon a time I was on another clipper company that we won't say. If you've been following me, you know who it is. And it was a great experience. Made a lot of good friends that I have to this day. People who support me and supported my career. But just getting that opportunity kind of helped me, get this one. And
Right.
I was in Detroit, and ran into a friend that I happened to know for a while, and she was working for this company, and she told me, she was like, hey, I think this would be really good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I'm a guy, I love cutting hair, so I was like, hey, send me the tools. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? At that point, you got nothing to lose. But
Yeah.
I'm also, I get the most common question I think I get from everybody is, do you really cut with these tools? And I think that was prior to what we got now.
Right.
But man, let me tell you something. We've been doing this for a long time. The tools
Yes.
that came out, people were looking past us, and they ain't looking past us no more.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the tools from day one, which is why I knew I could rep them.
That's
Because
right.
I'm not going to put my name on anything I can't I really can't mess with, you know?
Yeah, and I've been following you, since I've been here, and every time I go to your page, you got a pair in your hand. So,
Yeah.
and this particular clipper that I seen on your station, it's a trimmer or a cutter.
Right.
They're pretty slick.
Yeah. No, these are our new models. Like I said, it's been in the works for a long time, about 2 years. So to see that we really can't show them to everybody right now. I mean, you can see them online, but to actually not be able to see us in action at shows, really put them in your hand, that's really what I'm waiting for. So I think 2021, God given the opportunity that we get to get back to work and do what we love to do, I think we're going to light up shows this year.
I got a question. How many trophies do you have, Drew? Because I walk around in your shop and I see all the trophies.
I got some, but I feel like I got out the game at the right time, to be honest with you. There's a lot of my boys out here. We got some killers in Florida, man. You know what I mean? I got 18. I'm proud of all 18 because all 18 I knocked off in a row. So there wasn't a show I went to that didn't place, for 18 straight. So I think I got out the game at the right time as far as when it comes to competing. Like I was telling you earlier before the cameras was on, man, we got a lot of talented barbers out here. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was just happy to get in, make my stamp. You know what I mean? And really, I enjoy going to the shows and being a fan. I'm a fan of the game,
Right.
I love watching some of these young guys come up. You know what I mean? But every once in a while, I feel like getting back in there. See if I could throw a few punches.
I think somebody's going to call you out sooner or later, Drew.
Oh, man, I hope not.
And I think this game, we need that. We need that right now. We need a little friendly competition. We need to get the juices flowing. We need, for these guys to show. And and you're right. I done seen some stuff. At these shows, I done seen some haircuts like, wow, that's awesome. Like, that's fire. I'm old school. I'm an OG in the game.
Right.
And back when I started, it was almost like it wasn't cool to be a barber.
Right.
That's how far back we're going back to the late 70s.
Man.
So it's
I think that was the same way in the late 90s. When I told my mom I was going to be a barber, she cried for like 2 hours.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Look at you now.
She wanted me to be something totally different.
Yeah.
I don't think she could ask for more now, but when I first told her, hey, I'm dropping out of college, that dream of you having for me being a lawyer and businessman, all that, I'm a businessman, but I'm doing it with the Clippers though.
That sound like a famous barber I know that did the same thing.
Yeah.
He know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
When I interview him, I'm going to bring it up.
Hey, listen, I'm just glad I made the decision I made, man. And I think the biggest misconception for a lot of us is that you got the Instagram following, you got the sponsor, you're on the teams, you got the trophies, you got the wins, you got the name, and all of a sudden it's easy.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
I'm in here. You could ask my team. You could ask anybody who's worked with me. I'm in here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm the last one to leave.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I didn't start taking off on Monday until 2-3 years ago. Wow. You know what I mean? I'm still working 5 days a week behind my chair. I'm the first one here, and I'm going at it all day. The grind doesn't stop. You know what I mean? I'm still working. I'm still trying to be the best version of me I could be every day.
Right.
And that includes a lot of bumps down the road. This is not easy. You don't just keep these things going. Clientele just doesn't keep coming. You gotta be about your business. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest issue that I see when people say they don't have success in this industry. You know what I mean? Is that they feel that the reason why you're not having success is because this is not coming overnight. It's not overnight. And even when you do reach a certain point of success, it's hard to keep it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the pressure for me is still on, just like it was in day one.
Right.
When I had no idea where I was headed. That pressure of feeling like, man, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Well, I know what I'm going to do, but now I'm trying to keep it afloat.
Right.
You know what I mean? I acquired the boat, but I'm trying to keep it from drowning. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want it to sink, So I'm still working hard, man. I still enjoy every day, but it's definitely been a journey. You know what I mean?
What would you tell the young barber and we got some beasts out here that, guys, first you hear the guy, oh, I want to be a celebrity barber, or I want to do athlete stuff like that.
Right.
What do you say to a guy about that in 2020?
Man, if your aspiration is to be those things, you can be those things. You know what I mean? Like, I think especially a lot of the old OG barbers, they have a big problem with that. I've been cutting hair damn near 20 years already. And so I would say I'm kind of like, got a little bit of the new school, a little bit of the old school, you know what I mean? But a lot of the old heads are mentors to me too,
Right. Who are some of the guys you looked up to?
Man, Curtis Smith, Jesse Lima, Chico Boom, Danny Amore, Kenny Duncan, all these guys. My teammates, those guys, all I ever wanted to do was be part of that team. Yeah. So to become, to receive an X, become part of that team, that was a memorable day for me. But, as far as the question about, being a celebrity barber, I think this year showed us, really, when you zero in on things, you could be whatever you want to be, really.
Exactly.
And if that's what you want to do, fine. But nothing comes without hard work. You know what I mean? I've seen so many people just give up on it so quick. Talented kids that come in and they come in riding this wave. They want to be like you. They want this. They want that. But then when it comes time to do the work, they don't want to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They post one picture and it don't go viral, and all of a sudden, hey, I ain't about that Instagram. Listen, there's a lot of knocks on Instagram, but there's a lot of people eating off of Instagram. There's a lot of people eating off of YouTube. There's a lot of people eating off of all of these platforms. Yes. You know what I mean? That's for a reason. You know what I mean? I always say this, look, if these bigger companies are using these platforms, these very same platforms to market their products, you think it's not working?
No, it works.
It works. There's a reason for it. And it's free advertising. So, look, I used it. It's a great tool. You know what I mean? It got me to where I needed to go. I believe in it. That's not to say that you can't be successful without it, because at the end of the day, it all matters what you do in the shop.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to be in there early. You're going to be the one late to work every day. Mm-hmm. You're going to be the one staying late for the last head of the day, or you're going to be the one leaving the shop early. That's on you at the end of the day. Right. But I know what type of barber that I still want to be. I know what type of leader I still want to be. I know what I want my guys to see every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're a big family in here. If you walk in my shop, you came in earlier today. Mm-hmm. You walk in here, I'm in the back.
Yeah.
I'm in the back. I'm in my little corner, and you don't know who owns. There ain't no there's no sign up there that says owner. You know what I mean? We're a family here. We're all on the same page here. But I know what kind of example I want to be to my team.
Right.
We can be cool and everything like that. We can have those conversations and those good days. But I know at the end of the day, I want them to leave here knowing he's still about his business, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know when I come in here, and I've been in here a few times, but I always feel like I've done worked here or something.
Right.
Or, it feels like home to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think probably most barbershops that I walk into, it feels like home to me.
Right.
And just from being around other barbers and other shops and even different states.
Right.
This shop here, I come in the mall and I say to myself, I'm at home.
Right.
And I don't feel, I don't feel like weird or funny or things like that. For the people that don't know and that's watching, tell everybody what is the name of your shop and where they can find it.
So I'm located in Tampa in Citrus Park, Westfield Citrus Park Mall, the Barber Lounge 2. We have another location, down on Waters and Hanley. The Barber Lounge 1 is over there. That was the original one started, and then this number 2. This is where I'm. This is my headquarters here. This is where I'm out of. So I'm stationed here 5 days a week. So if you want to come see me, I'm here. And not only for a haircut, I'm open up for advice, shadowing, barbers coming in, wanting to pick the brain. I get questions all the time. Is that allowed? Is that something you do? Is it mentor? Hey, my doors are open.
I'm glad you said that, because there are barbers out here who are teaching the younger guys bad habits.
Right.
So, and you got guys out here giving a watered down version of what hair cutting really is.
Right.
Now, me personally, I've been every kind of barber. I've been the lazy barber. I've been the late barber. And
Right.
you being an owner, you
Right.
probably dealt with all of that.
Right.
So I'm the king of it all. I done been the late guy.
Right.
I done been the arrogant guy.
Right.
I done been the guy that don't show up at times. I done it all. I've been burnt out.
Right.
You know, and for you to say what you just said, that means a lot, especially for the younger guys, because I feel like that guys like you that have been around and know the game, know the ins and outs. If you can just pick one or two guys to mentor, or you know, they can, like you say, they can come and shadow if they want to. That means a lot for the game, because after a while, if there's none of the guys like you that's teaching these guys, what are we gonna have 15 years from now?
Right.
You're gonna have, you know, because a lot of the old guys, we gonna be got carpal tunnel, don't want to cut no more, and, you know. So I just say that I tip my hat to you, man.
Right. I appreciate
it, bro. And I look up to you, you know.
You know, look, at the end of the day, man, I was just telling Tyreek Jackson this on the phone the other night.
Shout out to Tyreek Jackson,
shout out to Tyreek.
Pennsylvania, Philly.
Love what he's doing. The guy came in the industry and he never cooled off. He's just been hot since he came in. He came in rolling, came in with the capes, killing the game, and you know, he's on a whole different level now. But I was just telling Tyreek the other night, man, like, isn't this what barbering's supposed to be about, though, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
You know, like, a lot of us don't, you know, we're not graduating college 4-year degrees and deciding, hey, I'm gonna go be a barber. A lot of us, this was a last resort.
Right.
You know what I mean? To be a barber, you know, I hate to say it, but it was a last resort for a lot of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of us, this was what saved us. You know what I mean? This was, and maybe not from, you know, a lot of people come from bad situations. We've had successful barbers in our industry that have been locked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That got, you know, way crazy stories. Mine ain't too crazy, but I know for me, I was at a bad place, not knowing what I was gonna do, and I knew that what I had in front of me was not what I wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did not know how I was gonna eat the next day either, though. You know what I mean? I knew I could go to mama's house and eat some food, but I'm talking about eat. Like, how was I gonna be successful in my life?
Well,
you know what I mean? So, you know, like I told Tyreek, if we ain't reaching out, if we ain't helping each other, if we ain't calling each other, if somebody needs help and you can't rely on the person you called to offer some help, then what are we doing? This is what people come to shows for. They come to shows to see us, talk to us, pick our brains. They pay money to come see classes.
Yes.
Yet when they reach out and they need help, nobody responds.
Right.
You know, it can't be like that either. You know what I mean? We got to be there for each other at the end of the day.
Yes. That's what's up.
You know?
Well, Drew da Barber, I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro.
To take the time out and talk to me and bless my new show.
Yes, sir.
I want to try to have someone on every week. You know, there's a few more Tampa barbers, and even in Tampa Bay area, that I want to talk to and pick their brain, and we can shoot and get it out there.
There's a lot of talented
We're going to have some verses going on. We're going to get it on. But in a friendly way.
No, I look forward to seeing what you got going, man. Like, I've always been appreciative. Like you said, we met a few years ago through exotics and stuff, and I know you work hard, you on your grind. You've always been there. You know what I mean? For all of us. So it's a blessing, man. I'm glad to be on the show, and, you know, I'm glad you stopped by, and, you know, you're always welcome in my house.
That's what's up. And tell everybody what your IG and how they can find you on social media. And then, of course, I'm gonna put it in the bottom of the screen so everybody can see it.
Yeah, Drew da Barber on IG. Just check me out. You know what I mean? If you guys need anything, you want to reach out, you want a one-on-one, or you want to come by and shadow, hang out, just need some advice, somebody to talk to, man, feel free to hit me up. My DM's always open. I do the best I can to get to everybody. So, you know, make sure you hit me up.
That's what's up. All right, well, that concludes our episode. This is my first podcast with Drew da Barber. This is history for me. So I'm always going to remember this one.
Glad to be a part of it.
Yes. So thanks for watching. For the guys that's watching, if you're listening, you can go on YouTube and look for Keep It Sharp with Fareed Rashad. All right, we out.
It was her.